You're listening to the Media Man Dan podcast. Let's rock! With me by your side, your dreams will ignite when you're lost. With the hope inside, we will fight when you say goodbye. Just leave it all behind, leave it all behind. Nothing can tear you down when you grab your wings and Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah.
What's
Okay.
up, guys, and welcome back to the Media Man Dan podcast. Today, I have one of the best guests in the world returning to the podcast, and that is Joe Marks of the incredible project, My Position. What's up, my friend? Happy to have you back on the podcast.
It's good to be here. These leather seats are pretty comfy.
They are, aren't they? And I love
Yeah.
that you pointed out immediately we're facing the wrong way, so we're really annoying the people trying to watch the movie.
Start sticking fingers up her nose and
Yeah.
doing the was it Ace Ventura, the eyeball thing?
But man, how's it been? How have you been this whole year?
It's been a fun roller coaster. Just been focusing on lot of life stuff because I had moved up to North Carolina as we discussed the last time. And when we got together last time, I was in the middle of doing a house build. And so since then, we've finished building the house. We closed on it, moved in, had family come visit, been waiting for things, furniture, deliveries. There's been a lot of delays on getting my studio back up and running. So it took a little bit to get back to work. But then we got back to work and released a song. So getting
Hell
busy.
yes. And not just a song, an absolute amazing song from one of the most amazing people to work with. As you know, Shaylee Bergay helped you out on this incredible video and probably
Yeah.
the production as well. Dude, that song is mesmerizing. And I've said this word, I've said it too much, so let me change it. This song is magic. It is pure magic. And the video is magic, and your Mustang is magic. Like the first time you get out of your car, I'm just like, oh, Michael Bay has a new idea in his mind of what he wants to see on screen.
But yeah, Shaylee did a kick-ass job on the video. We sat, he basically had the ideas in his head. I kind of said, rough idea what I was looking for and showed us some areas around where I live. And he was like, yeah, let's do this. So I just followed his lead. And, believe it or not, he wasn't actually involved in the song itself. He just did the video for me. It was a mix of Amir Wave, which I started working with him years ago on this song. It was supposed to be an R&B song.
What?
Yeah. He came to me. He wanted to do a new genre, R&B with screaming vocals. And I was like, I'm here for it. We'll try it, And it got like almost halfway done, but then just life stuff happened and we lost touch with each other. And then he ended up moving up to Morocco. I had no idea until like years later. And I just kind of reached out to him and said, hey, man, I kind of want to finish the song. It's a really cool, energy I feel in the chorus. I just love how the chorus is. So he said, yeah, let's do it. And I really wanted to do it for My Position way. And so I was thinking, North Lane vibe would be very cool. And I had started communicating and talking with Adrian Gonzalez, who's on the track.
Yes.
And I said, he's really the best, fit for doing that. So he created the guitar tone to match what the bass movement was in the R&B style. And so that's why that guitar is moving around like it is.
Okay.
So yeah, he killed it.
Dude, oh my God, I love the bridge, as I pointed out during the reaction. Like, I just love that point where you meet your daughter and it just changes the whole mood. Everything changes. And oh my God, the camera work at that time too. Like, if you guys haven't seen the video to Fly Away, you have no life and you need to go out and do something with it and watch that video 1,000 times. Give him thousands and thousands of views. He's the best.
I could use all the views in the world. Just one extra is fine enough for me.
Absolutely. Send it to everyone you know, everyone you don't know. Send it to everyone that they don't know. Everyone, just everyone on the planet needs to watch this video at least one time. And my
Everyone you
reaction.
hate. Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. So Adrian Gonzalez, he was the one that was working with the guitar on that track. Because I
Yeah.
know that you're now a multi instrumentalist with all of the you told me in the first interviews that you're the one behind the entire project. But
Yeah.
that's awesome. So are you planning on having more guests in the future?
Yeah. Well, I mean, well, I'll just, just to make sure things are clear and so forth. With this particular song, all of that instrumentation was Adrian. I
All of
basically
it
sent
was.
him, yeah, I sent him the original R&B track. And I said, hey, you're really good at making these North Playing vibe sounds and so forth. And he does some really tweaky stuff with his guitar.
Yeah.
So I said, see what see what you can do with this. And he was, I mean, he nailed it out the park. I actually started to try to see if I could do it myself before talking to him. And I was like, it was cool, but I wanted to see what he could do with it because I knew that he could take it to a higher level. And he did. He didn't fail. So
Absolutely.
yeah. And as far as that goes with your question of more guests and so forth, I actually love and it's become a from what I'm doing research, it's become a great thing for independent artists to do is to collaborate with other artists because when you do that, both of you guys are now have that song showing up on both of your Spotify pages, and it gets more reach that way. So I definitely will do a lot more collaborations.
Hell
On
yeah.
top of that, I just
Networking.
enjoy the process. So
Yeah, and you guys are amazing. Both of you are very talented musicians, and of course Shaylee as well. And I'm just gonna keep shouting them out because I was overjoyed with that Day Shell project. Oh my God,
yeah.
what an amazing album! And I won't go too hard into that because one day when I get to interview him, I'm going to just bow at his feet.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's totally fine going into it a little bit because I'm super proud of him. He worked his tail off on that album, and yeah, I'd say it's a really cool feat and alone the fact that he's doing it independently, no labels. He was able to get his fan base to put together the money that he needed for the entire thing. I mean, 50 grand is a lot to get people to contribute, and he's got
Definitely.
the pull, and so. It was really cool to see all it's come together. It was really cool to be a part of it and to watch him in the studio as well as he used some of my vocal takes on one of the songs. And so I just feel I'm super proud of it all over, and I feel lucky too. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. Like I said last time, I mean, the odds of you being able to talk to someone like him, like that status of knowing that this is a legendary metalcore artist. And now I
yeah,
can say he's totally a metalcore artist because of all that screaming that was on the album and all the screaming that you're doing now. I'm just like, oh man, I'm loving this stuff because I was listening to your discography today and I'm like, okay, you can hear the evolution, how it goes like all the way to Battle of Evercry. You're like, oh, this is very nice. And then all of a sudden you get to the song that you did with Post House Tuomi and you got Fear. And then you got that screamy stuff like you were saying on the first
yeah,
interview. And I'm like, okay, all right, I like it. And now you got this brand new song that is just an absolute banger for the first two verses before you jump into that beautiful bridge and finisher. It just works so well. And yeah, you're mastering it, man.
thanks. I mean, that's I guess anybody can hope for is to continue leveling up. Actually, it's funny enough that now that you're saying it too, and I guess I'm not one to try to toot my own horn. So when someone's saying something, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of the same thing for anybody. They don't really know how to like take a compliment, but I mean, it goes to show when you're saying it, and I mean, Franzilla, Mr. Franzak himself, he was saying it as well in his review of my song. So it is, I guess, it is evident that it's a continuing uphill climb. So that's a good feeling.
Yeah, and what you said that you were originally working with was an R&B style to take
Yeah.
it and make it as like genty and like just this power screamy vocal that I usually would not expect from you, but you've been killing it with those covers on Instagram and everywhere else that you're posting them. They're probably on TikTok first because, I know the game. You have to do it in a vertical style, so it's got to go
Yeah.
everywhere.
Kind of shoot it all over and see what
Yes.
sticks.
And those were awesome. Like watching you do some what was one of my favorites? Let me look it up while you talk. But dude, you've been absolutely killing it with your screams. How long have you been screaming for?
Ooh, well, uh, successfully or starting with an attempt?
I could say I didn't know what I was in for until I started the track, and I was like, "Oh, I want more of that." That's what he's been hiding for the
Yeah.
entire time as incredible melodic rock musician. Now goes completely metal, and I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've been well, so I was a part of a project quite a few years back, Polar Night, where it was a lot of screaming and I did both screaming and clean singing, and then there was another guy that was a part of it. He did some of the lower growls as well. And when I started my position with Shaylee, helping me out, I basically was like, I kind of want to like do something that's not tailored to that screamo stuff or that metalcore side, but I guess it just slips back. You can't escape it, I guess.
Yeah.
The
By the
cool thing
way,
was, oh,
the
sorry, go ahead.
cover, sorry, the cover, I'm not going to interrupt you. Actually, continue, and then I'll let you know the cover, but I found
Oh, yeah,
it.
I mean, I was just gonna say that. I mean, the cool thing with not being independent and not being a part of label and just collaborating with this person and that person, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to fit a particular sound as long as you're not alienating people. But I try to
Yes.
stay in a little bit, in the lane, but still doing little fun things here and there.
Awesome, man. And yes, okay, so the most recent cover that you did was Enemies by Shinedown. And dude, your high vocals on that with the power that Brent usually brings, I was like, oh my God, is Joe going to be able to match that? Yes, you did. Yes,
It
you
was
did.
it
And
was
all the
tough.
other
Yeah.
ones, I don't personally know those songs, but as soon as I heard your song, like cover of it, I was like, okay, I got to check this song out. Puddle of Mud is
Yeah.
not usually in my collection of things to listen to.
Well, that's a very old song. That's from back when I was 20.
Wow. All
Yeah,
right.
it was a
Before he
while.
was screaming Nirvana on
Oh man, yeah, that's bad. That was bad.
just good decisions.
I
Good
feel bad
decisions.
for the dude. He had a great career early on, and then they fizzled out, and then to see that happen, oof, it was
Yeah,
bad.
it's all right. But speaking of lead vocalists that were iconically known, not for their vocals, but just iconically known in general, I can't believe we lost Smash Mouth this year.
Yeah,
That
I
was a
know that was
shocker.
yeah, it definitely was. I mean, there was man, I wish I could remember different names. There was quite a few shockers this past year, and I'm just like, what in the world? I mean, I know I'm getting old, but I'm not there yet. Like, come
Yeah.
on, it's crazy.
That's and people, even though I'm a little bit younger than you, they keep coming up to me and they're like, "Oh, you like that? You're ancient." Like today, I was in a group chat and I was like trying to make a joke, and I'm pretty sure that nobody got it. But the dude said he broke his glasses, and I said, "Well, now is a great time to get a Daredevil costume, and just in case, get a cane with a sword inside, and whenever it rains, you're gonna have perfect eyesight."
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
that's a 2003 Daredevil reference, not the Netflix show.
right. Yeah. Um, that's definitely a while now. It's a good 20 years.
It is exactly 20 years, and it hurts to think about.
Yeah, that's when that Puddle of Mud song. I know that it's a super popular song, and I'm trying to, just bring light to my account and so forth, so that when Flyaway came out, people will be there to check it out. So I had to like my plan was to hit something old, something middle old, something new. So that's why I was doing that. I did I'm trying to think of all I did an Icy Stars one. I did uh Amberlin. I was going to do another day show one, but I want to save that because I'm going to do a full band thing for a few projects like Chevelle, Day Shell, maybe some POD, like full band showing me playing my drums here, guitar, bass,
Yes,
all that stuff. So
all at the
with
same
the
time.
time, yeah. Well, I mean, not yeah, clips, but yeah,
That'd be
exactly.
pretty cool to actually have you green screened in each area, but that's a very challenging thing to put together.
Done it. I've done it. And I've actually done it successfully where people thought I was multiple people. And they're like, you
What?
guys done great. And I mean, if you look up the hashtag, what is it, hashtag the Joe Marks brothers or something like that, you'll see things where people are just, they get confused. Or, because I'm wearing different outfits.
Yeah.
And so it works successfly. They're like, you
Well,
guys
whenever
did great.
whenever your hair was down in battle, the Battle of Evercry, I was just like, there's no way that this is the same dude I'm talking to with this awesome hat. And I'm like, wait, maybe he's gonna wear his hat backwards. And then you change your profile pic, and I was like, yes, yes, Joe, that's sick. I love this look. This is so cool. What an
Yeah,
amazing
I pulled off some
evolution.
different looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh,
But besides your single, how has your music been this year? Have you been looking for something to really just make the next year into something epic?
yeah, I mean that's the hopeful plan. Since I had the hiatus with the move and waiting to get my studio finally set up, having it here and ready to go. That's why I kicked off and did Fly Away. I have something I'm working on with Shaylee, and we're actually trying to pitch it to see if Joey Sturgis will produce it for me. So my fingers are super crossed on that. We talked to him when we were hanging out, watching. We hung out in Knoxville back when Shaylee was helping me record some social things for Flyaway. We saw Tool in concert, and we hung out with Joey there and was talking to him about it. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm talking with Adrian again on another track, mixing it up with my buddy Sonics to try to do an Icy Stars style song.
Oh,
And so yeah, I'm trying to like get more collabs. Oh, plus I have another couple things with Post House Tomi that I gotta wrap up too. So trying to stay busy, trying to keep things rolling.
yeah. The
Um,
last time you were talking about another cover that you were planning on doing with Post House. So I'm super excited to check that out and, of course, react to it and promote it as much as I possibly can because you deserve it. Also, I love going to into reactions for artists that I get to talk to. Like that's my ultimate hype of all hype because I'm just like, not only do I love their music, but they've given me a chance to have a conversation, and that means so much more. So I'm going to bring it so much more for them.
yeah, I mean, I guess it goes with anything. It's there's always something a little bit more in depth when you know someone that you're doing something with. Whether it's there's many options out there, but I'll leave it at that.
Gotcha, gotcha. But how has family life been for you recently?
Oh, it's been pretty good. Because we made a huge move coming up to well, I guess I should say it's kind of a roller coaster. Mostly been pretty good. We made a
Okay.
huge move coming up to Florida, where me and my wife and kids are here. We moved up here because I have friends up here that basically just like keep moving, kept telling me move, 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 and I was like, I don't know, we'll see. And so we just pulled the trigger and did it. So we're away from a lot of our other family. It's just us here, and so we're making friends and so forth here and tying that stuff together. I recently just lost my grandmother a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
so I went back to Florida to see her funeral last week, and so I mean that was a tough hit, but other than that, I mean, the family's been doing great. The kids are doing really good at school. They're getting involved with their things and got friends, and it's good seeing it and being a part of it. So yeah, things are good.
Wonderful. Also, what are friends?
I don't know.
When
My
I was
life.
in school, that didn't exist. I'm pretty sure everybody that went to school with me bullied me. Everyone that was in extracurricular activities, karate and whatever, or wherever I would go after school was my friend. It was
Yeah,
a weird experience. But also rest in peace to your grandmother. Like I said, man, it's my condolences and sincerity. I truly understand how that feels to lose anyone, especially grandparents. And yeah, it's rough, but I'm hoping that the family is all able to enjoy the time together because a lot of people come together that usually wouldn't for those periods of time.
yeah, absolutely. We had a lot of people from all over the country came to Florida to send off for their regards and so forth, and we got to spend time together, which some of them I haven't seen in I feel like 15 plus years. So it was a good time to spend time with them. So and thank you for your words as well. I appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. And it's wonderful to know that she was so honored as someone who's up in age. You have to have a lot of impact on a lot of people, including, of course, your kids, your kids' kids, and
Yeah.
strangers that you've been friends with forever. It's awesome to see how many people will show up at the end of someone's life to say, like, this person really meant a lot to me. And
Yeah.
I love that part. That's my only good part that I have going to any wake or funeral. It's like, oh, it's so nice to see the turnout.
Yeah, she was the longest living grandparent I've had. So it was actually pretty cool that she had a relationship with my kids. because my daughter was crying when she got the news because she used to come home from school and my parents would watch them while I was working. And so my grandmother lived with my parents at the time and she would play games with them. So they had a relationship with her too.
Oh,
So it was cool that she got to, stretch that span of
yeah.
great, great grandchildren and so forth. So
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the most magical thing in the world. Anyone that has that experience to be with their great grandparents or great grandchildren, it's awesome. And I always love telling people like I had 9 whole years as far as I remember from my dad's side, my great grandpa was still alive for that period of time and I don't forget anything. Even the smell of the house still reminds me of things or random birds that chirp in a different way because he had this weird bird in the middle of a room. But yeah,
yeah,
it's something that you'll never forget and just the impact that a family member has. And like I said, man, it's the holidays. It's actually a really good time to catch up with everybody and see how everyone's doing without worrying about all of the crazy gift buying. I hope that you're all caught up on your gifts.
for the most part, I
For
guess.
the most part, yeah. Mine was so good. I bought it. It came to the house, and it was obvious what it was because they didn't put anything around it. It's like transparent wrapping, and the person who opened it or took it in the house was the person I got it for. So I was like, shit, another thing I gotta get now.
That sucks. Well, I accidentally blew the I spilled the beans for my son's gift because was talking to my wife about a couple things and a charge came up on our account that I just wasn't familiar with. And so we were sitting there having dinner last night and I was like, there was a charge for some kind of trains or something. She was like, I was like, oh no. And he was right there. He just started smiling. I was like, dang it, I messed it up.
No, that's actually a sweet thing though, because like that's like the best. My worst experience I remember as a kid. I came home when I wasn't supposed to be. I think it was a birthday time, and my parents had just got all these birthday gifts, and so they were bringing them up the stairs, and it sounded like they were arguing when I came in the house. All I had to do was pick up something to bring it back to my friend's house, who I was hanging out with on that day, and so they thought this is the perfect time. We're gonna get all this stuff, and one thing like flew down the stairs right at my feet, and I was like, oh my god, are you guys angry or what is going on with this? And they're like, no, these are your birthday gifts. And they're like, I guess you know what one of them is. I'm like, oh, okay, just I in my mind I was like, oh my god, did something get thrown out of anger? But no, it was an accident. Something fell completely down the stairs. I think it was a video game, and I was overjoyed to see it because I was like, oh my gosh, awesome.
That would have been great as too, as well. You're not gonna play it for another month still. So
No, they let me have it after that. They're like, you see it, it's yours now.
I would have made you wait.
That's because you're a great father. That's what it is, man. Hold down the law.
That's it.
But now that we are talking about the holidays and Christmas and all kinds of things, you go anywhere with your family, have like a special tradition with like going seeing the lights on houses or like a special like arboretum, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, so we go to church and stuff, so we obviously will be, going to the church for their Christmas specials that they do. But we love, like, it's our favorite thing to do is to go and get hot chocolates from why can't I think of it? Starbucks. Hot chocolates from Starbucks and find like neighborhoods where they like people really get into putting up lights and just walking around sipping hot chocolates. Plus, with it being cold here, we love that feeling. So,
Yeah.
and we obviously do the lights on our place too. So we try to, do what we can to be festive.
Absolutely. Spreading the spirit around. That is awesome. My parents told me that they put up the lights without me, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that you should ask me who's younger to do that now. Like, don't put that on yourselves. This is not that burden yet. Like, I'm still living here, so I'll do
Yeah.
it. But yeah, it looks nice. I like the spirit of Christmas around. I love seeing people that aren't so obsessed with the capitalistic side of buying everything on sale. For this time, I was like, Best Buy is closing. They have all of these sales and they're going to get rid of physical media altogether. Like, should I buy something? And I looked at all the lists and I'm like, I have everything I need. I'm good. I'm good. All right. Forget about that. And so it's just been like more exciting than usual to look forward to the holiday, because all I'm thinking is like it's gonna be great to relax and not have to worry about going into work on a Monday. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm definitely not into the whole like go crazy with shopping stuff. I try to see if I can plan it ahead of time, get things kind of stored to the side, and be ready early on. And I mostly just love to get together, spend time together, do the parties, eat yummy food, and that's it for me.
Yes, the yummy food. Oh gosh. Okay, are you a ham person or a turkey person? Because we just finished with Thanksgiving as
Ooh.
well.
So I'm both, honestly. When it comes to turkey, I know there's a running thing with turkey that's dry and yada yada and just taste, flavorless, but you got to do it right. You got to do it
Yep.
right. And my dad would always fry the turkey, and he did it successful, except for one year, and he burnt his nose, but the thing exploded on him just a little bit. But
Oh dear.
you got to be careful with that stuff. But I mean, every time he's done it though, it's been really amazing. And then I recently just got into like smoking meats and stuff like that. So I got like a smoker now. I've been doing brisket and all that stuff.
Oh
And so
yeah.
I was like, you know what? I got to try smoking a turkey this year. And that's what I did. And dude, it was succulent. It was amazing.
Oh,
So
I'm
yeah,
coming over next year.
you're on.
Yeah,
Come on
dude.
down.
I have always had issues with turkey because you have this idea in your mind. You're like, poultry is poultry, so chicken is everything. Everything has to taste like chicken. And you have
Yeah.
turkey the first time and it's white meat. And you're just like, ah, this isn't chicken. This has no
Yeah.
after flavor. I need something with it. And my parents gave me, that delicious gelatin formed cranberry sauce. And so I got really comfortable with that. And I thought that was the only cranberry sauce. I didn't realize there was an actual one with cranberries in it. But
Yeah.
I love that as
And so you
the
have to shake the can, let it come out,
yeah,
and just flops
exactly.
on the plate
It's
and
got the
jiggles around.
circles, little rings on
Yeah,
top. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, so I decided that every time I have turkey, if I have to have turkey, I will always have cranberry sauce on the same fork at the same time. Like it cannot be any other way because I don't like gravy. I'm a very picky person, but I mean dark meat I can handle. I had a lot of dark meat this time,
Yeah.
but oh my gosh, deciding between ham and turkey is a no question. I absolutely love honey ham. I am obsessed with honey ham around the holidays. Not as much as that one crazy movie where they're like almost killing people over it, like losing it in the parking lot. I can't remember what movie that was, but it was
I
it was
do. And then I
hilarious.
think in the end it got crushed or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
It
And
was
that
in
might
that
have been
can, right?
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Oh my
so, Brian.
gosh, so funny.
I
And I
feel
think it
like
was
that was
in the middle too, something like that.
yeah, I don't remember now. Shoot. I remember oh no, you know what? I'm getting mixed up with another movie. Christmas of the Cranks. That's what I'm thinking of.
That's probably what I was thinking of then,
Oh, okay.
because yeah, I
Because it
do
was like
remember.
last minute. They weren't gonna do Christmas, and then family was starting to come in, like, okay, let's do it, let's do it. So they're trying to rush it all together. But of course
Yes,
everything's sold out and yeah.
that's it. That's it. Okay, you got me. Christmas with the
Okay,
Cranks. Okay.
that's
Well,
it.
now speaking of movies, which is actually the exact transition I wanted to have. What is your favorite Christmas movie?
Ooh, man, that's tough. I have a tradition with my family. We always gotta watch. All right, so there are two top movies I think that we have to watch every year is the Jim Carrey's version of The Grinch,
Okay.
and The Elf.
Elf. Oh my gosh. My favorite.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hands down. No question. I thought you were going to say It's a Wonderful Life or something with the black and white, White
No.
Christmas, Miracle on 34th Street. But you went for the new classics because, ouch, they're also 20 years old.
Yes, they are.
So with the Jim Carrey version, like, did you like it when you were younger and like just fall in love with that version of the character, or did you always like the animated more and like deal with this character?
I'll be honest, I didn't really ever watch The Grinch when I was younger.
Oh,
And then when that came out, I probably didn't see it probably till close to 10 years after it was out. I think at,
damn.
at some point I was like not interested in The Grinch after not really seeing it when I was a kid. And I just never tried. And then I was like, you know what? It's a Jim Carrey thing. Why not give it a shot? And I couldn't stop laughing at that movie. So it stuck.
I could say I love when he's in his own what is it, territory, cave, whatever you want to call it. His hilarious antics, because he is
Yeah.
Jim Carrey. really shine there. But when he's stuck with the rest of the Who's and he has to do this outrageous character of just like, I mean, I understand it's Jim Carrey, but I want the Grinch side where he's just like devious and sinister and just taking things away and like no remorse whatsoever. But he's just like overdoing it. And when they give him like the best Who of the year and mock him for it, like I was like, oh, that's so mean spirited. And that wouldn't come from the Who's that I know from the original. So I was like, this movie's definitely not for me. But as I've grown into it, I'm like, okay, the end of the movie has a really good message. It still captures that same message as the original. I also like the, falling off the cliff with the huge amount of packages, lifting it over his head. The entire reason why the Grinch is so important, the the heart grows 3 sizes that day. Love that. I think that was a great moment. And I like he got this nice little grin, and it was just a very heartfelt thing. But I just felt like that crudeness that came from the beginning just completely set it off from what I would expect a Christmas movie to be. However, This year I'm watching A Christmas Story for the first time in 19 years because I hated that movie when I was a kid. I did not like anything derogatory around Christmas. I was like, this is for Jesus. We're not going to be mean. We're not going to swear. This is so crude. And why are kids fighting? And why is there blood? And why is this kid like put in peer pressure? I'm like, this is horrible. And the parents are terrible. And I was just like, I don't understand that. But then last year we got a tribute or some kind of like legacy sequel to that movie that came out, and I started reading critics' reviews and listening to critics reviewing it, and they were like, this is actually a fantastic way to portray this incredible classic. And I was like, you mean it works? Like the story works? Like this is a Top Gun Maverick situation for a Christmas movie I've hated all of my life? I'm down. So I told my fiance, I'm like, we have to watch it this year. This is definitely the time. Maybe there's something there that we will actually catch up on and see the magic in, because right now I'm just like, yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I haven't actually heard of it, so I'll have to check it out too.
Yeah, Ralphie, Christmas Story, all of that, like famous thing. The most famous thing is the lamp that's leg lamp. It's like a really attractive woman's leg.
Okay.
Yeah, it's some kind of I don't know. I'm guessing that this is like for those people that are not religious. This is their Christmas movie because they can relate to that more. Same with like Home Alone. You're like you get the spirit, but you're not like beaten over the head with that really nice Hallmark feel. And I should say that I grew up on a movie called Timmy's Gift, which was from the Precious Moments collection. So this was a VHS tape based on a Precious Moments doll or like figurine. And it's very religious, but it was like super duper insanely cute. So I'm pretty sure that because it was super duper insanely cute, I only thought of super duper insanely cute things around Christmas time.
Interesting.
That's the way it happened. Yeah. But what was your favorite or first Christmas movie, I should say, that you remember watching as a kid or obsessed with as a kid?
Yeah, as a kid, it was probably one of the, what is it, Peanuts or Charlie Brown, whatever.
Yeah.
When they do Christmas and then they also have a New Year's one. I think it's probably a mixed special. And then of course there's the classic, what is it, the Rudolph movie?
The claymation. Oh, so good.
Yes.
The
I
magic.
definitely watched it as well as a kid.
Yes. I love claymation when it's done correctly. Tim Burton scares me every single time he touches it.
I think the people that do claymation well are the ones, the same studio that does the Wallace and Gromit.
Yes, they're the masters.
Yeah, so there's a movie that I watch with my kids a lot now, Early Man, which is really, really funny.
I saw that. Actually, I think I was supposed to see this movie, and then I think I got the tickets like late, so we missed like the first 10 minutes. But I finished the movie, and I was like, even though I don't like soccer, even though I'm not into like this kind of style of animation, I've seen the Wallace and Gromit, I've seen the Curse of the Were-Rabbit, I've seen all of these really, really famous things, and of course Chicken Run, unfortunately, and all of the good things that came from Disney Channel. I think they had like one dog that like would always put his thumb up, but like all of that like made me appreciate that. And then when I finished the movie, I was like, wow, this is actually good. I actually really remember this. This is like really, it's funny, it's cute, It's interesting. It's definitely out there. I feel like Wes Anderson should work with the dude that does Wallace and Gromit stuff. I think they would work together well.
Yeah.
That's the guy that does those really exact shots. They're always in like perfect proportion or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely one of our favorite movies, Early Man.
Awesome.
The
That's so
the
cool to
little
hear.
hog dog, they call him Hognob or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He's like the comic relief throughout the whole thing.
Yes. There was great comedy actually throughout. I was impressed with how much it like didn't take itself seriously. Even though it's such a serious thing. It's like, oh, we're gonna get rid of the cavemen because they're out of time. Like nobody cares about that.
Well, now you know, was it Tom Middleton, who is the actor for Loki?
Oh,
He
Tom
does the
Hiddleston,
voice,
yes.
yeah, he does the voiceover for the bad guy in that movie, and you wouldn't know it like from the sound of it because it
Yeah.
doesn't sound like anything like him. But he's the one that does the, he's the hey, come over here, you, and he's like trying to like, he's the one that's been like greedy, and in the end, he gets kicked out of the kingdom and so forth. Yeah, that was Tom Hiddleton, is it? Can't
Hiddleston,
remember.
yeah.
Yeah,
He is so nice. Like he's one of my favorite celebrities to watch with the behind the scenes or like interviews with the cast of everything. Because when he speaks, it's like he actually cares. Like
yeah.
he's not putting on an act or anything like that. But if you ever get to see him with kittens, it is so cute.
Yeah, he's a very talented individual. So, but it was
Definitely.
pretty cool seeing that. But yeah, as far as like that, my favorite scene in there is where the hog is giving him a massage, pretending to be his masseuse, and he's telling him to sing him a song. He's like, and he's like, he's like doing it all rough. He's like, "Hey, don't be so ham-fisted," saying all these puns for him being a pig, but he doesn't even realize he's talking to a pig.
That's right. That's right. It is the puns that, oh my gosh. Okay, so I have to rewatch the movie because I obviously need to see the first 10 minutes to see how
Yeah,
that went too. Is that like one of the most like highlight moments of the movie?
it's my favorite. Just because when he finally discovers that it is a pig, there's the whole blowout, and it's just funny the way he's doing it.
Perfect, perfect. I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch it. Now that I remember all the claymation stuff, I will have to say that my also favorite Christmas movie is probably A Year Without a Santa Claus. I
I haven't
love
seen
that
that one.
movie. You've never seen that one? Have you
No,
seen Santa Claus is Coming to Town?
maybe I watched all. I'm trying to remember all the different Christmas movies. There's a ton out there. Obviously the Home Alones with Macaulay Culkin. The
Yes,
ones without, no. Um, there's all the Santa Claus movies with Tim Allen.
true.
Obviously the really old classic stuff. But I've never, honestly, I've never seen Miracle on 34th Street. I've never seen, what is it, it's a Wonderful Life or something like that. I don't know what it's called, but there's a bunch of classics that I have not seen for
I'm gonna
whatever
put
reason. I don't know.
I'm gonna put Macaulay Culkin with the Home Alone face right there when you say that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable, man. I've never heard anyone say this. This is incredible. And now I
I
have
don't
to
know.
ask, when are you gonna watch these movies with me? That my sacrilege to not know these movies. Oh my gosh. Okay, so It's a Wonderful Life. I'm not saying a damn thing about the other movies. Miracle on 34th Street?
Yeah.
Just charming. I haven't seen the new version more than once, I think, but the
Hmm.
old classic is so good. And even though it is in black and white, you can still see the representation of what Santa Claus is. And fun fact about it, it's not taking place around Christmas time.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I haven't seen them. But just for whatever reason, my parents never played it, and then I got to an age where I didn't really care, and it is what it is, I guess.
There you go.
There is one
That's
of them, and I wish I can remember which one it was. Someone recently told me that I should see it, so I'm going to. I just got to ask him again what that was.
okay. Okay. But yeah, with the claymations, the classics, I would say, yeah, definitely watch Santa Claus is Coming to Town. A Year Without a Santa Claus is my favorite. There's also Jack Frost. Jack Frost is like a really
Oh,
serious take on a character,
yeah.
and I did not expect it to be as dark as it was. And I didn't remember as a kid how dark some of these movies were. But Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the whole entire movie is like this run down, like extremely poor city with no color, no happiness. has no way of celebrating Christmas because of their evil like dictator king or something like that, and he's never amused with anything. So he doesn't like toys, and he bans them from all the children. If he sees toys, he wants them out. And so the entire reason for Santa Claus existing is to bring like happiness and joy to the actual holiday season. And it's actually a really good take on it. Also, there's one of the most famous songs, Put One Foot in Front of the Other, which I love. Great song.
Okay, I'll just have to check it out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But out of Christmas stuff, let's talk about the next year. What have you had in your mind as the release schedule for some of your music? Are you going to do it in springtime, summertime, fall? When should we expect another incredible single to drop?
I'm actively working on the Icy Stars style right now. Now that I'm back from Florida, I'm trying to finish writing some riff ideas and then send them over to both Adrian and Sonics. Sonics is going to do a lot of electronic stuff. Adrian's going to see about taking that guitar level up again. And so I'm hoping to kind of get that out as soon as possible. I'm hoping early spring for that. The one that I will be trying to pitch over to Joey to do, I don't know, we'll have to see. I'm hoping to do that in around the same time frame, if nothing else. Maybe at the latest, like late spring, but we'll see. Fingers are crossed.
And because I'm having a brain fart right now, because I'm just not as well versed with the man Joey Sturgis, the legend. Who is he part of originally? What does the name Joey Sturgis mean to the metal community? Just so for those listeners and me right now, I'm just not remembering.
It means everything. He was the guy. He was basically the farm, if you will, of producing all of the major metalcore bands that you've known in the last 10 years, like Asking Alexandria, Icy Stars, Of Mice and Men. He's got a huge list. Okay. And then he's kind of taken the back seat and he started creating Joey Sturgis Tones, which all these artists nowadays are using all of his plugins to produce and mix their stuff. He's a huge person in the industry. He's the one that also produced Shaylee's latest album as well.
Oh God, I love that. You're gonna work with this legend.
That's what we're trying to do. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is such an incredible feat of victory. This is victory for you, man. You have ultimately blown up at that point. If you can have the opportunity to work with someone who is so influential to what we know as one of the greatest genres of modern music, the modern metalcore. And I guess people that love gent, maybe he probably had something to do with that too.
I would say as far as the production side of that, I'm sure he has. Yeah.
Awesome. You got to have Spirit Box shout him out. That's what has to happen. And then they have to shout you out too when you guys are on tour together.
Fingers crossed. We'll see.
But I am so excited for next year with everything that I've heard. Like you said, your evolution, your discography, your music, your style, your heaviness. As Franz pointed out, you're also changing that. I want to watch his reaction now, because I was typing in my position reactions, and you know what I got? Positions by Ariana Grande, and I was like, "Get out of here! Get out of here! Stop ruining things!" Yeah, it makes me sad, and I'm like, should he change his name? Nah, keep the same name. But it's like, how are we gonna find you over Ariana Grande reactions, right? I'm figuring it out. But if I can, I'm gonna look through his entire channel to see where it is. But because I want to see him actually give you commentary.
Yeah, I'm going to be posting some of the stuff. I've been taking little clips to do social clips with it. Nice. So I'm doing little pieces and then I'll put the full one up, because he has done a couple of my other songs, and I have clips of that on my Instagram, on my position page, Instagram. Dog, I'm sorry, my dog is whining. He wants to hear their family come home from a couple of things they were doing. So give me 2 seconds, I'm gonna let him out the door. Anyway, my bad.
I love when people leave frame and then come back in. It's like they're mini person, and then they're walking up to the camera.
So on my position band page on Instagram, I do have a couple of his reactions from previous songs, like Gasoline that I did with Post House, and some of my other from my EP. But Yeah, I'll be posting this one up there the same way.
Awesome, awesome. What do you think of Franz's hot takes recently? Because I know that you love mine when it comes to social media, and I have been very nice this year. I've been a very good Dan. I tried so hard to stick with politics, and then I saw Trump go to jail, and I saw the outrage that came from everything, and all I was thinking was, why do I care about this? I got life to live. I got things to do. So I said, I'm gonna put that on the side. But then you see Franz, you see Ronnie Radke, and all of a sudden everybody is like super political, and I'm like, oh damn, I missed my shot.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a wave, I guess. It comes in and out, and uh, everybody gets all hot and bothered over a particular topic or whatever that the media wants you to get hot and bothered over, and then it goes away, and then
Yep.
it comes back with another one. It's like they just keep that feeding frenzy going because they make money off of it. So
Ain't that the
I'm
truth?
personally like I'm super I don't want to say super, but I'm on the conservative side of things, and I kind of just sit at the side and just be like, I'm going to stand for the things that I need to stand for, but to get all involved on this online stuff, like that's not the type of person I am. So,
Dude,
you know,
these days it's like watching clowns fight. It's like a mascot fight. When it comes to the
yeah,
right wing versus the left wing, all I'm seeing is here's a bunch of hypocrites versus a bunch of hypocrites. And then all of these anarchist ideas go into my mind. And I'm just like, no, 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 no. That doesn't help society. I can't do it. I can't do
yeah,
it. I can't give
yeah.
up on them. But man, are they stupid right now.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, and I think it's probably the part of the biggest reason why just stay out of it. A huge majority of them don't really know what the hell they're talking about, and I'm going to say I don't know what the hell I'm talking about on a lot of things too. I
Yep.
know what I feel is right, and I will do whatever research I feel is necessary for me to do. But I got way too many things to worry about than to sit there and start fighting with somebody on something I'm just jumping towards because it's on my side.
Yep.
That's dumb of me. I'd rather know the real truth, and I'd rather just find that out from reliable sources and not deal with this banter back and forth. It does no one any good. So
It doesn't.
what?
It doesn't do anything. My favorite thing right now, I've been agreeing with people. It pisses them off so much more. Because
Yeah,
then I'll like switch sides and they'll be like, "What? What do you mean you agree with me? You can't. You're just arguing." I'm like, "No, no, you make sense. That was a great point. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge." But it
yeah,
ends at that point, and you're like, "I got things to do today. I got things to take care of." Like these people that sit online and argue all day, and this is for everybody in every single political ideal.
mhm.
You have no job if you are online 10 hours a day arguing with strangers. I have tried so many Discord servers to like try to make a conversation with people I've never met before. And if you bring up anything that's like super edgy, they talk about it between themselves. Even after you leave, they'll keep talking about it. And I'm like, what do you do with your
Hmm.
life that is
Yeah,
actually like so how do you have this free time? Like, just teach me. What do I need to do to get that free time and still hold a job? Like,
yeah. I mean, a
it's
lot of that
crazy.
stuff doesn't honestly affect us. I mean, there's a lot that trickles down for sure, and that's the stuff you want to watch out for. And just go and vote and do what you need to do, and make sure
Exactly.
you're educated for yourself. But to be involved in that, it's a waste of energy and a waste of time when there's a lot more productive things you can do for the people around you. Like for all these people that sit there and want to say like, "Oh, you're racist, you're this, you're that, and the other," and they want to like point fingers and make you feel bad to make themselves feel more glorified. It's like, shut up and actually go out and do something for someone if you really care that much. If
Yep.
you're going to sit here and spend all your time online, you're not doing anything for anyone else. You're just as much of a hypocrite as anyone else.
Yep.
You're
And
not doing anything.
hypocrites are the reason that politics make all of us give into this idea that we're going to somehow save everything. Like doesn't matter left wing, white, right,
Come
white.
on over, bud. You
Yes,
can
the
do it.
white people. Anyway, the right wing and the left wing are both pushing this propaganda into the minds of really simple people, saying that, oh, if you believe in me, I'm going to fix what they're doing wrong. They're the enemy. They're the
Yeah.
enemy. But the player that's actually involved with both sides, watching them critically analyzing every move that each one makes, that's the person that you should actually be behind, because they're going to have a better outlook on everything. And I'm actually going to be discussing very controversial topics on my next podcast episode next week. I guess in a couple days when this comes out, technically. But it's going to be very hard topics that usually aren't talked about, and I'm going to discuss them with a pretty normal bias behind it. I'm just going to be like, here's some common sense. Let's see if we can put it to work. Let's see what happens. And one of my favorite things I've been telling everyone right now, I don't want Trump to be president. I know it's going to be controversial. I want him to have a podcast. Imagine the Trump podcast. Who wouldn't tune into that? Every single day he comes out, I hate Nancy Pelosi. Everybody sucks. I hate the world. I'm a billionaire. I got billions and billions and billions of dollars. Like, that would be so funny to watch him host a podcast. Way more easy to live through than 4 more years in a terrible place where everyone hates him. I'd rather him just have free speech all over the radio. And I don't know who's going to take care of whatever side. I don't know what we're going to do in this case, but yeah.
I don't know. I don't like any of the people that's out there. I mean, honestly, I think maybe Vivek would be the top chance for me, but then there's so many things with him that is controversial too, and I got to dig in further to understand that, because everyone's got something behind them, and so it's like you don't know who to really choose now. Yep. And I agree. Like, as much as I think it's funny the way Trump is, and then I know that he takes care of business in a sense. Like, I miss, the lower gas prices, and
they did go down over by here in Chicagoland. They actually dropped under $3.
Finally, just under $3 for regular unleaded. Yep. I still use premium for my Shelby, so
of course you do.
But yeah, but I still, when it was, everything was below $3, that was nice. And definitely for groceries, and going out to eat, I'm paying probably 30% more every time I go out to eat now. Groceries are definitely doubled up. I want that stuff back down.
Yep.
But Trump, it would just be 2016 to 2020 all over again. Mm-hmm. It would be a constant battle, a constant this, and people just getting all mad and hating each other, and it's just like, I don't want that anymore.
No, it's so toxic. And allegations that would go between both parties again, and like just constantly trying to get him out of office. And it would just be like, can we focus on fixing what we have? And this is what we were talking about before with the media and stuff like that, and how much they persuade us to believe that something matters, but it only matters for a period of time. Can we talk about how they skipped over Hawaii to go back to Ukraine?
Yeah.
Like,
what happened there?
Hawaii set on fire all of these people out of their houses, having to live in hotels, including some of my extended family members. And the news was just like, anyway, back to Ukraine.
Yeah. Oh, climate change. That's it. Yeah,
it's crazy.
But they wouldn't let people over there. And it's like, why? That doesn't make sense at all to me.
No, and they'll never talk about it again. It's like under the rug as soon as it happens. I'm like, this is a disturbing, it's like dystopian, man. Because they're consistent.
Oh, they're so happy this Israel stuff took place, because that's the big talk now.
Oh, that's it.
Palestine.
Yep. And then another thing will happen, and another thing will happen. And here's the thing. When we didn't have our news available to us at all times of the day on our phones, we didn't really get as triggered, as involved as we do now. Every freaking 14-year-old thinks that they're an activist. Like, it's pretty sad, but that is the truth that I'm looking at right now. I'm like, you really need to stop, because this wasn't a thing before. we didn't have these kinds of ideas, and we never would push this kind of thing into the atmosphere with our age group. It was not a thing. And now it's like, oh, if you don't get offended by this, then you're the bad person. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, did you see my post? You probably did, because you see all of them. But did you see my story? It was like a meme. It was hilarious. It was like, do you support Palestine? And they're like, no, I could never support that guy. He turned Anakin to the dark side. That's funny. That's funny shit. And I know people that would get so triggered about that, because they get into their head that they have to be this overly righteous, perfect person. And it's not possible. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. We all have our opinions, and it's
Yeah.
okay to question narratives, especially when they're beating you over the head with it all the time. Why wouldn't you say, are you being for real this time? I mean, how many times have we played Big Bad Wolf in the middle of the pandemic? It's like, oh, now we need to have this. Oh, now we can't have this. Oh, now we need to have this. Oh, now we can't have this. As JP Spears really pointed out perfectly, they said we have a vitamin D deficiency. What should we do, sir? Oh, let's stay inside and make sure no one can go out. The sun is bad. What? That's exactly what the
vitamin D.
Yeah, it's like, who needs vitamin D? That's going to help people live longer. Useless.
Yeah, it's a control machine, and it's gone out. I mean, the connectivity and media age has made us dumber to no end. Everything is so easily grabbable, and our minds quickly just want to go, well, that's right, because it fits what I feel. Yep. And it's not right at all. And people are going on TikTok and stuff, like you're talking about these 14-year-old activists. Like, I'm seeing kids on there trying to do these debates and so forth, and I'm like, you guys don't even know like how the world works. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
They can't even balance a checkbook.
So dumb with these people that put up these little pictures. One side's Trump, one side's Obama, and if you send a rose, it gives Obama points. If you send this, these idiots are doing this, and all you're doing is you're paying this person to make this feed. Yep. It does nothing for no one. You're an idiot. You're just throwing your money at this dude to make yourself feel better.
And it's the literal definition of divide and conquer, where you're literally believing that is the only way to live your life, is to choose one or the other. And you are contributing to the idiocy, the idiocracy, if you will, to believe that that's going to help anyone is ridiculous. It's insanity. And I understand, like, if you want to be critical and humorous and you want to show your opinion out there, go for it. The Babylon Bee, geniuses. They have some incredible, hilarious takes when it comes to modern events. South Park, masters of satire, and every single thing that's going on with Disney right now. They had this down to a T for the last 16 years. They knew exactly how this was going to go because they assumed that it would be the most hilarious way to portray Disney, and now it's becoming reality. It's crazy that satire has become something where people are now thinking that this is like a prophecy. It's a prophecy. I'm like, no, they're just playing around and like, what would be the most extreme thing? Trump gets elected? Let's do it. Like, that's
it's very much turning into that mediocrity. You have these people just like, and if you speak with any kind of eloquency whatsoever, are you gay? Are you a fag?
That's what it is. And the funniest part was, I think, when he was in line and they were like, did you already sign up? He's like, yes. And they believe him. And you know, you can literally outsmart who's your like leader at that period of time because everyone's an idiot. And the whole movie actually works for both sides of the political argument because you have to believe that your side can be wrong. It's okay to believe that they make wrong decisions. But the most important thing at the end of the day is to not avoid those horrible news stories that happen consistently around us and say, let's remember this. Let's remember the fact that they overshadowed this with more spending for Ukraine, another war, another celebrity's problems, a marriage that got a divorce in a celebrity's household. Ooh, I don't care. Fix the economy, fix the entire nation with how much we're actually suffering right now. Like, look at the people that are set on the street, or actually they're not even on the street in California anymore. The governor was just like, boop, sorry, we gotta get rid of those crazy poor people, make room for the communists.
I mean, I would prefer to see things out there where it's like, there's no more red, there's no blue. We're going to have our feelings on particular topics, and that's fine. We're allowed to be different thinkers. Nothing wrong with it. How do we come to a same understanding and to a same end goal together? That's what we need to see. And as part of like what I was going to mention a second ago when I was talking about the different pictures and people sending a rose or sending the TikTok thing for either side. The one I saw today was someone was like, if you send a rose, it's for LGBT. If you send a TikTok thing, it's for straight people. And it's like we're fighting each other. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Like, if you want to be whatever side you want to be, do your thing, man. It's your life. We're not trying to fight each other here. We're
Nope.
just we're trying to make bills and pay our way to live here and eat.
Exactly. And the best question when it comes down to everything is, has that person ever done anything for you? That is where
Right.
you need to always go with your candidate. Your idea of prophecy that Trump is going to save the entire world and that he's the second coming of Christ. I'm like, you fucked a prostitute. What are you talking about? And then they're like, no, Biden, he's the best. I'm like, he can't say words. They don't come
Yeah.
out of his mouth. And he trips up the stairs repeatedly and handshakes with Casper. What are you talking about? And then they're like, oh no, DeSantis is perfect. And I'm like, he's a good guy. I don't have a problem with him. I don't know what he's actually up to because he's a politician. They're all set in this puppetry that Avenged Sevenfold actually did perfectly with their song The Stage, where they show how each and every horrible thing that happens is by a group of people that are all in cahoots with each other. Doesn't matter what side of the equation they say they're on, they're all in cahoots with each other. They're all going golfing. So those people are never going to push your grocery cart. They're never going to bag anything for you. They're never going to watch your dogs. They're never going to do anything. Why give them your time? Why give them anything? Let the independent person that actually wants to fix things have a chance to go all the way to the top. Let's see what that has to do with this entire political system. If we don't vote for either side and we vote straight down the center, I'm guessing that we're going to have an incredible change of like pace with everything. Like we're going to see a crazy change. And that's what I'm hoping for, at least.
Yeah, I think people need to stop worrying so much about like who's on top and start worrying about who's beside you.
Yep.
And we focus on building our community and helping those around us that are really going through something, and not sitting and trying to put all our ducks in our eggs in a basket with someone who doesn't give a flip about us. You know, they're out there for themselves. They want to stay in office. They want to have the ability to make deals in the behind the scenes and make money. And you know, some have some small, you know, inside of wanting to do something right, but greed always takes over. So
it's so true.
Yeah. So we just need to look, you know, person to your left, person to your right. Hey, let's make some things happen together and let's build this community. You know, that's what we got to focus on.
Yes. Yes. Amen to that. Also, we should also have conversations with one another. Talk to people that you disagree with. They might actually have good thoughts.
And it's okay to say you don't know. Go and research. Yeah. And then come back and say, hey, this is what I found. What do you think of this? They might find something that rebuttals it. Okay, go back. Exactly. That's allowed.
And here's the craziest thing. If the internet didn't exist, like it didn't when I was a kid, no one can pull up an article at every single moment of the day and be like, well, this article told me this, so it must be true. I only trust this news source, so it must be true. That's ridiculous. That's going to cause more division. You're never going to get along with anyone if you close your mind completely. Now, that being said, I have my own personal beliefs. Joe has his own personal beliefs. We hold those true to ourselves. If it's for the best for us, for the best for our family, we're going to continue with that belief cycle. And you don't want to change your actual morals, values, and principles. Do not lose those, but still give an ear to other people that you might not listen to, because they do make great points at times. It's not always.
No, for sure.
Absolutely. Sorry to go political on here.
It's totally fine.
Awesome. Yeah, it's been a while since I've talked about it, and I was saying to my fiance, she saw the post and she was like, "Oh my gosh, are you going to be bringing up politics again?" I'm like, no. I'm just saying that anyone that they want to, if they have any belief or any passion about anything, is allowed to talk on this podcast, and no other podcaster is saying that right now. Everyone else is like, here's my corner, here's my corner, here's my corner. And I'm just like, come on in. I don't care. Yeah. You can say whatever you want.
You're like, yeah. And it's like, again, you're just dividing.
Exactly. If Kanye West hits me up tomorrow and is like, yo, I'd love to talk about Hitler, let's do it, man. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Not happening. But dude, thank you. Thank you again for joining me for another amazing conversation. And everyone, seriously, check out all of Joe's stuff. He is incredible when it comes to his talent in music. He's got incredible passion for his family and for his automobiles. The best cars you will ever see on his page. Go and check it out in the description down below. I promise it's sick. It's awesome. I'm excited to see what kinds of things you're going to have next, because I listen to a guy called Andy Frisella. He's on the Real AF podcast, and he's got like a tank. And every time I look at that picture, I'm just like, I could have one day. One day.
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun.
Just to drive around in a tank. Or battleized vehicle, I should say. I don't know if it's an actual tank.
Oh, sure.
But dude, thanks so much for talking with me and being so open and so honest. It's so nice to have a conversation with a friend that just gets you. You know, this isn't a common thing. A lot of people have that little corner that they're in of their mind, and I had the same thing for a long period of time. But now that I've opened my opportunities to everything, it's just been so nice to see how many people are still with me. And you're one of my favorite people. So thank you.
Same in return. It's always a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me on here.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. I hope all of you have an awesome night and stay safe out there. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the Media Man Dan podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks for listening. Have an awesome day and stay safe out there. Peace.